Hey, yeah, it's been a minute. It's been like 3 weeks since I came on here and talked about stuff. Hello, my name is Latasha Coates, and welcome back to my channel. I go as T Coates. If you're new to this channel, this is where I usually just come here and talk about, what's going on in the government and what's happening in our nation pretty much today. If you're not a big reader about what things that are going on, so I tend to stick to certain topics and try to figure out if we can figure out together what it actually smells like. Today I'm going to do something a little different because I have a little tutorial on there for makeup stuff, but like I said, I'm a novice, so I just do my own thing. But I got a little thing on there that says like, how do you do your makeup? And I was like, how do I do my makeup? So I'm just going to go through it as I talk about certain things. So everybody knows that Trump recently said he was opening up the government back, and everybody's like, yay, taxes, and I'm getting my money, and I'm like, are you sure you are? Because I'm not so sure he's giving that money away. See, because February 15th is the day. He says file it, he'll have it open for 3 weeks. See, the government needs their money. So therefore, they're going to open it up for a period of 3 weeks for everyone to actually file their taxes and get all their stuff, paperwork in and everything. And when it comes time to release the money, which is going to be February 15th, he's going to shut it down. Now, he's going to shut it down anyway, strategy-wise, because, I say a lot of stuff on here, and people don't listen, and some people do, and they comment and everything like that. But, some people, they just don't believe me, and then all of a sudden everything I keep saying keeps coming true, and then they're like, oh. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to just put this on out there. He's only opening it up for enough people to file their taxes. Like I said before, the government needs that money that they get every year. Because the truth be told, if I file my taxes and I get $1,500 back or $2,500 back, that's actually nothing in comparison to the 1%, the amount of people who are paying millions and stuff in taxes, and companies who have to file taxes and give a certain amount, millions and stuff like that. So yeah, they're going to open it up. He's going to open it up, but he's not going to give anybody their money, because February 15th is when he said he was closing. Isn't it funny that he would say February 15th? February 15th, that's the day the money is due to be released to the people. See, he'll close it back down before anybody gets their money, and then he's going to blame the Democrats. And then the Democrats are going to be really upset because they're going to be like, oh, he closed it. He closed it back before anybody got their money. And then the American people are going to be on the Democrats like, I need my money, and he did this. And then Trump is betting on the fact that the Democrats will push Pelosi and Schumer and everything like that, so they can agree to whatever terms they're going to. But the funny thing is, if y'all think at this point, if the Democrats think at this point that they're going to really release, if they're going to really take all that shit from him, they're not going to, and they got people backing them, but he's counting on the fact that that he'll open it up, and he's actually going to end up doing, he's going to declare a state of emergency. What I just used was Maybelline Master Prime by Face Studio. It's a primer base. It's hydrating because I have extremely dry skin, and some people like to use the other stuff. I like to use this only simply because it's lightweight, it doesn't clog your pores, and it gives me hydration to my skin. So my skin looks oily kind of right now, but it's not actually oily. It's really like moisturized. Okay. Then I went out and I bought some other stuff. So I've got the Maybelline New York. It's the up to 24 hours foundation. Now this foundation right here is the truth. I got this in deep bronze, intense. It's deep bronze. It's actually a really good color too. And I always do a tester on my hand to tell Like it's deep, but it's like super coverage. And it's only like $12 at like Walgreens. And it's like really like super coverage. It's actually really good. I like it. See, it just changed like my whole hand color. And then of course I always use my I usually use my Maybelline, but I'm switching today. I usually use my Dream Mousse Maybelline, but the last time you saw me do one of these, it was the first one I did. I ran out of that, so I had to run out and get some more stuff. So of course I also use I use the CoverGirl True Blend matte finish. This is for my contour. It's really, really dark. It's really, really dark. And open this. My Pro Concealer. And this is the shade. Oh God, this is. Yeah. Yeah, this is the shade. I don't know. But I put it on my hand before. It was actually really nice. And then I always use the Age Rewind under my eyes and around my mouth here, and actually put it around my nose too to kind of give it that lighten, really, really, really lighten look. Okay. So right now I'm going to go in with this. I like to do everything on my hand. I like to do everything on my hand, and then from there I kind of just put it on little spots that I have to darken things up or lighten things up or something like that. I definitely go in the crease of my eyes right here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I definitely go in the crease of my eyes and around my nose, because a lot of people forget around their nose gets dark. So I do that. I always do my little strip across my forehead, because that's my that's where I'm actually starting to see a little bit of lines now that I'm about to turn 36. So let me see. I usually take my finger. I know it sounds funny, but I usually take my finger on the deep, on the ones that's got a lot on there, because I don't want it to. I mean, the ball works fine. You know, a little puff ball thing, it works fine. But like sometimes you just kind of want to do your own finger. And I kind of blot it on my eyes because I don't want to pull anywhere on my face. You never want to pull on your face. Okay. Now, I usually take my puff ball and I literally submerge it in water, and then I do it because I need it super moist. And that's how I do my forehead. I kind of take some off too. And I know I look crazy right now, but I want it super moist and super like blending in really well. So my little spots are covered. Yes. So now I go in the foundation. So now I go in with the regular foundation and I put it on my face, on my nose, all over really. And never forget, I always do my chin, but I always go like right there because that'll blend all the way across on both sides. Once again, I do that. Now I also use, sometimes I'll use this is it's a Sculpt Stick. It's from Absolute New York. It's a Sculpt Stick. One side's darker, and then one side's actually really light. It's actually kind of getting a little whatever. But, ooh. I usually take that Sculpt Stick. I just go under my eyes, and it's really smooth. It doesn't pull. Go over my mouth. Right? And I use that, believe it or not, I use that. I can also use this for the lighting. So instead of using the Age Rewind, I can do this. The little skull seals. And I go like that. And I do my little scalping on my side. Now I just look crazy, but it actually works. So I take it. So yeah, everybody's kind of like, you know, they're like, oh, he's opening it back up. Run and file your taxes. And I'm like, yeah, definitely do it. Because if he gives it, he's only going to give it on that day. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to do it. I think this is all just another game of his to really just try to play with people's money. Because to me, that's what he's doing. He's going to take everybody's money and he's going to declare a state of emergency. And I think they kind of know that's what he's going to do because of the simple fact that the money is going to be given out on that day. And if they don't agree to it, he'll shut it down before anybody gets anything. Which is actually really, really fucked up. And a lot of people, you know, they don't believe that. They're like, oh, no, he wouldn't do that. I'm like, yeah, he's going to do that. Like I said before, he was going to shut down the government, and he did. And I believe that come February 15th, that nobody's going to get their money. And that's just, for him, that's just another way, not even so much, like I said, this isn't a channel about blaming the Republicans or blaming the Democrats. It's just facts. Like, this is literally, I believe, what he's going to do on February 15th. You know, and he's sending, you know, people back to work for right now. You know, and they're not going to be able to get any overtime or anything like that. And who knows? He might keep this charade up for a while. He might keep opening it back up and closing it and opening it and closing it. And who knows? He's counting that every time he does it, that it weakens. I'm actually going to use this Adrian thing just a little bit. He's hoping that every time he does it, it's going to weaken the government. Well, just to lighten me up in certain areas. Yeah, so he's hoping every time he does it, it's just going to weaken. It's going to weaken the government a little bit more and a little bit more until, you know, we're all scrambling, which he's hoping that we do, so we're not actually looking at all the stuff that he's doing in the meantime. That's flawless right there. And like I said, I'm a novice at this, you know, even my channel and stuff like that, but you know, people are definitely getting out there saying, you know, his Trump supporters are really, really pushing hard for the wall now, and all the people that are for it are really just trying to get it all set. You know, they're like, oh, no, 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 no. And then there's this other side that's like, impeach him. And then there's this other side that's, you know, saying this and saying that. And it's getting to the point where, you know how they said, like I don't want to say like evil, like he's evil or anything. I don't want to say it like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that every time he says something and does another thing, he loses more of his own supporters. Because everybody's like, okay, what is he? Okay, we're for you. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And he just keeps, to me, he just keeps messing up. I'm like, why do you keep messing up like this? And then I realized he's starting to become like a child. Like, you know, like literally, I want this, or this is going to happen. I want this, or that's going to happen, or I'm going to be angry and I'm going to be upset. And he lies and says that he doesn't, you know, he doesn't throw fits and everything like that. But all his people around him are saying that he does. And half the people that are with him, you know, a lot of them are going to jail for stuff. And he's like, you know, and they, you know, before they kept saying, remember I said on here before, I said, you know, if they say, you know, did you have Putin rig the election? And he said no, and that's offensive to him and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, it's starting to come out that like, okay, you know, the guy can't, like I said, you never know what that guy's going to say. And even if he is telling the truth, it's going to be so many people that don't believe him because it's too late in the game now. It really is. It's just, it's too late in the game now. He's trying to save his own skin, so nobody can believe him that the president did this or da da da. But he's saying, like, I came here with this in a bag, you know, Walmart bag full of money and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, but like I said, Trump has too many people around him. He has too many people around him, and people aren't going to, they're not going to, you know, impeach him. That's not going to happen. And I said it before. I said, you know, why? Why aren't they going to impeach him? Because he's got too many people in front of him. And for those of people who out there who really truly think that they're going to let you impeach Donald Trump, they're just not going to. And it's messed up though, because at the same time, I do my contour really dark and deep. And then I blot it out. So I do it really dark, really deep, and then I blot it out. And I always go from my eyebrow down. And then I drop it down under my nose and bring it like that. I know I have that kind of Lion King thing going on, but that's how I do it. Okay. And once again, take this, dip it in water, and then I blot it down. And I try to keep the same line, but I want it to blend in so you see it, but it's not so profound. Because you don't want to be walking around looking like Mufasa. And I think that if they don't settle it, people are gonna, like, you hear like people are like in soup lines and stuff like that. And you know what's really messing up with people is just that, like, okay, well, I have to go to my 8-hour, I have to go to my job that pays me nothing for 8 hours, and then I have to go to my actual job, of doing something that's paying me even less, because think about how many people are going to look for a job in that area, that's the thing. Like, how many people are going to look for a job in that area? You got 20,000 people all looking for work in that area or something like that. Like, that's, it's literally like first come, first served, or they're going to take the people with the the absolute most experience, because they can choose. And that's sad. I'm using, the hell am I using? I'm using HD Flawless Setting Powder. Some people can use the white, some people can use the yellow. I tend to just use a basic, good high definition setting powder, and I kind of set both sides of my nose, and I set my forehead. And I set my cheeks. Now, yeah, I look crazy. You can see the powder like dusting off. It's cute. I like that. What I don't like is being like washed out with no color. Okay. Okay. Now I need some pinks or peaches, so I always tend to go back to because of my deep skin tone. A lot of people use different ones, but I'm getting older, so I can't really be using all like the super peaches and stuff. I'm actually going back to my mom's color, that like a sheer wine. And it actually, I find that, not, you know, it just does really well on my cheeks, that wine color. Just to give a little color back. Because, man, like when you do, and I can see when people be like, I'm like, oh no, their face looks fine. But when they look at it, they see that there's no like, there's no life in there. It's too, you know, not even. It's just, I don't want to say your skin look dead, but it kind of like, if it's not put on there right, it actually will look kind of dead. So you do need that, like, that hue of like color to your cheeks and stuff like that. Okay, all right, there we go. So you can see when I was putting on my primer, I did my eyelids. Now I also have an actual primer. That's a Wonder Cleanse from my Wonder Brow. I actually have, where are you? Well, anyway, I do have, I'm going to be using this. This is a Scandalized by Rimmel London. I like their mascara. Here it is. Now I can also use a Perfection eye primer. I can use that, or I can just keep using the primer I have and then do my makeup from there. The eye primer to me is a little bit thicker, so it holds the makeup better and longer than just using the regular primer, I find. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get another beauty blender soon. Okay. So because I smoke, I put a lot of stuff on my lips to try to keep the color. And I know smoking's bad, but I even try to put stuff on there to just help hold the color of any lipstick that I put on, or you know, so I always like to, I use my Color Stay. And I find this is a very good color for me. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's just a really pretty kind of reddish color. But you want to make sure you don't go too light on the red. This is it's an 810 Plum, this show. So I always try to find like a plum. I love, and it goes on. So their Color Stay, their Stay Matte just goes on so liquidy and so smooth. So some of them are really drying and don't last. You know what they say, the more you pay, the better they are. And then sometimes I like to do an ombre on my lips, which is like a little, I might do a lighter shade on the inside. When I usually do that, I also use another matte lip. Now this is anytime I do matte on top of matte, get that off there. Anytime I do matte on top of that, I tend to do a pink. Because I think it makes the lip look really full. And since I already have, and it's also a Color Stay too. So a very cheap version of that, let's say. It's hard to find this color for me. It's still so smooth that I can do that till it dries. Yep. I'm not even, now I see how hard it is to actually like really talk and do stuff at the same time, try to do your makeup at the same time, because you really can't. It's too, you want to, you know, but it's just too taxing trying to do it, and you can't, and I don't know. So I usually take this, looks like a mascara brush, and I usually just go up on my eyebrows, kind of try to form them before I start putting anything on them. They have a lot of eyebrow stuff. I have yet to buy any actual eyebrow stuff to put on there. I usually take a regular stiff brush, stiff tiny brush. I don't really call them out as like this is it, but I usually find like a very tight, stiff, thin one, and I could do my own eyebrows with freaking eyeshadow if I wanted. I could wet it and do it with eyeshadow if I wanted to, but I've been getting out of that cheap phase of doing my eyebrows like that. So I usually get the Wonder Brow, because if you can tell, I don't really have eyebrows, like at all. I don't have eyebrows. So I usually use the Wonder Brow. I use the black Wonder Brow, and I know they have their own little brush in there, but I just don't like it. And I'm running out of this too. Yeah, I just don't like it. So I usually take some like that. And one thing I like about the Wonder Brows, yeah, it lasts like forever, but you gotta know how to do it, you know. And it works better on people who actually have no eyebrows, because they can paint them on there and they look, you know, perfect. So I go up. Like I said, I'm a novice at this. I'm in love with Tyler Durden, never working for me. I'm in love with fantasy. I like melody songs that give you like a story, you know. And not all black people are just only into rap music. Like, you'd be surprised, a lot of black people like all different kinds of music and everything else. And yeah, we might like rap, yeah, but we also like other things. That's why I love to see black. That's why I love to see like black musicians playing rock music and stuff like that, because I think it shows that there's a different side to people, and you know, you don't just, like, I was this friend of mine at work, she's trying to get me into motocross, watching it, and she's like, yeah, he's one of the best players. He just, you know, Mookie just retired, or Mookie got hurt or something like that, and you know, he plays, they do the motocross thing, and she does the motocross thing, and she has a bike, and she rides it to work and everything like that, and you know. And she was, you know, she's trying to get me into it. And I was like, there's black people that do the motocross? She's like, yeah. It might only be like 2, but yeah, there's. It's like, that's how it starts. No, but I mean, I was, you know, you get pleasantly surprised on things. I said I was going to talk about Trump and this and that. I haven't been on here in 3 weeks, and I'm just talking about everything. Right? Everything but. I can never do my eyebrows right. I always try, and I screw it up. Yeah, I just try and I screw it up, and then they start looking like they just keep getting closer. They just keep getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, I do not want to look like I have a unibrow. So when it starts getting towards the end, I just kind of fluff it out and try to bring it out more. Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, see? Then I rubbed it off. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Eyebrows are so hard. For me, anyway. That's why I like that smooth stuff under my skin. But will it hold your makeup up? Yeah, it will. Okay. Now, since I completely and totally jacked my eyebrows up, I have to do the Pro Concealer. I have to do the Pro Concealer and line it up. So let's do that. I usually pinch it. Some people take it, some people put it on something else and do it. I can do it on with the Pro Concealer. You just gotta know how to do it. Okay, so oh yeah. Plus I didn't do my eyebrows. You can always tell when you start doing it. Like if you can't tell anything, no matter how much you put your makeup on, you can always see those little hairs. Yes. Right? No? Oh, when I get to the eyebrows, it's funny. Because it's like, you're almost done, and now you done sealed your face, and now you're doing your eyebrows. Doesn't make sense. Some people like to do their eyebrows first. I can't, I have to like do my base of my foundation because I'll get, wonder brow darkness everywhere. God. And then you're also worried, you're worried about like, I work for the state, so like how they say, you remember how it started off? I was like 400,000 out of work. Then they said, 400,000 furloughed and another 40,000, not getting paid. Then all of a sudden it went to 800,000, and the number's going to keep rising until essentially all the federal workers are out of work. Then they said, this is going to be closed, the courts are going to be closed, and all this, all these, everything's going to be closing down. And you're like, what do you mean the U.S. courts are going to be closing down? Like, what about people in jail? Like, aren't they due a certain amount? No, but aren't they due a certain amount of due process and stuff? Like what do you mean? It's like there's certain things that can never be shut down, and that's the courts. It should never be shut down. That is like literally one of the, like, it should never be shut down. The court system shouldn't be shut down for any reason ever. They had the court system, they had a court for for different, shoot, look at this. It's just when you start thinking it's starting to look good, it just, I can do this. Yeah, see, like doing my makeup's a process. But like I said, courts have been around forever. And you would think that would almost be the last, like, if there was nothing else to close, you would always think that the courts would be open, Hear ye, hear ye. Like, even when they used to hang people, like, no matter what was open, the courts was open because somebody gonna judge your ass. Like, now they're just like, okay, leave them in jail and, like, it'll be, they know it's going to be open within 2 years, no matter what. What about those people who were waiting for trials and stuff like that? Are you just going to send them home, or are you going to put them in jail? Like, it's a lot of stuff in so many aspects to even consider, to still consider. So you got to buff that out so it doesn't look crazy. Okay, yeah. So my eyebrows look they look okay. Somewhat, yeah. Oh, and I got something on my face. See, and this is what I see, but that is also what can happen when you put makeup on your hands and stuff. Because if you accidentally touch your face or it's on the wrong side or something, then you're just shot. Look, they're still off. They're still off. But you know what? We're gonna muddle through it. That one looks actually. That one looks perfect. This one looks a little off. A little off. Let's see if I can sharpen it up. You know what? Yes. When in doubt, at the very end, I always take it's close. Close enough. Okay. Yes, I've been getting into doing the Pro Concealer and doing it on my eyelids. I mean, it lasts. It looks nice and it lasts. But I don't know. I just don't really like it. I don't like putting it on my eyelids. I like maybe doing a primer and a good eyeshadow that forces it to stay on there with a good color pigment. But this works when you don't have a good, when you're still working with, because it makes the color stick. It does. It makes the color stick to the eyelids. But you gotta do it while it's wet, to me, or it won't, can't be too wet, but it can't be too dry either. Because it won't stick the way it should. As if you're using like really, really cheap, like I do. Really, really cheap eyeshadow and stuff. Also like to drop it down to the bottom one. Just right there on the end. Because that'll actually hold my silver of my, oh actually I use gold. I use a golden highlight. It'll actually hold the gold of my highlight pretty well. So what color should I use today? I actually wore like a purplish stuff to work last night and I didn't really like it. No, I didn't like it at all. It was too, see, this one's too, see, because that's when you do your makeup and then you do. If you're worried about it smearing above, don't worry because I usually cut it and take it off anyway, so let's do a silver. See, yeah, even with a cheap one, it still holds the color. It looks smeary, but don't worry about it. Even with a cheap one, it still holds the color of the color of the palette. I just literally just keep packing it on all the way down, all the way across. When I say packing, I don't mean like smearing it back and forth. I mean literally putting it on there and just pressing it in. Okay. Then I like to take another brush and I simply take another brush and I simply cut the color with something less like that, more dark. So I tend to do like a, oh, actually I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do that yet. I'm gonna cut it over just to clean it up. Yeah, and I usually clean it. Now you see I'm just cleaning up the eyebrow now. This is Multifaceted Palette. It's by Nika K, New York. I usually after I clean it up, I usually take like a brown that almost matches that, even though I know it's probably like a blush. I usually go over the top of it to kind of clean it up so it doesn't look dragging on. You're separating the colors on your eyes. So I do a nice separation on it before I do anything else because I don't want it to look, and I tend to do a little brown to darken that up. There we go. Now, do I do another super highlight on? I could, but then what color would you use? Like, you know, some people would go for a super bone color up there. So let's see how that looks. When I was a kid, I used to do a gold highlight. Like when I was 14, I used to do like this really strong, all my colors were strong. I still wear my lid strong, but I tend to blend everything else out now. And like I said, novice. I try. But I mean, it all starts with doing your own. You know, you might not claim to be like the best or anything like that or anything. You never want to do that. But I think it's important to just keep trying, I'm just my water spilling. To keep trying and trying different things, trying new colors, trying new styles of makeup. Let's do a navy dark blue. For almost the line of the eye. No liner. The navy blue of the eyeshadow is the liner. See it? It's fun. A silver and navy blue. I'm gonna set this like a motherfucker, telling you. Because shadow for a line is not so much hard to do, it's hard to stay. Because the moment you touch your eye, it's fucking gone. So you have to make sure you spray it really good so it'll stay. Okay. Now I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go up to the next shade, the lighter blue. I'll mix it. See, sometimes I mix mine. Somebody said you should never mix it until you're ready to mix it. Like do a shade and then add on the other shade. Don't ever mix them together like that. And I'm like, oh no, I can do that. No. But you know, people come up with their own, like, never do this, never do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just really like lightening up from the deep line. That's all. And you want it light, you don't want it, Now, anytime I mess up, anytime I'm doing my makeup and I mess up, instead of rubbing it out, I always do salvage makeup. If I can salvage the look, I try. And how do I try? By blending it out a little bit with the brown. So let's say, I'm not going to mess up my eye, but let's say I'm doing a black and it's too dark and it's not working. And, I'll just literally sweep over and try to dim it down. You ever find your makeup, you ever find that you're putting it's too heavy or something, just try to dim it down. That's what I do anyway. I don't, some people say, no, you don't dim it down. You start over. Like, no, I gotta run. And, take a brush with a little brown on it and try to dim it down a little bit. That's what I do. Like right now. It's a little too dark for me. So I just dab it and then I blot it out. And it comes down a little. It's not so deep. See, it's not so deep. It comes down a little bit. Take it. And the brown, really just pushing that darkness of the eye away.